Hello and welcome to the leader booth at NAB 2022. My name is Kevin Salvage. I'm the Sales Engineering Manager for Leader Europe based in London in the UK, and I'm here to show you the new Leader LVB440 IP Analyser. This is Leader's first IP only product, so no SDI, no black and burst reference, just purely IP. And the device is a COT server running an application on top of it. The device consists of two network ports, two 100 gig network ports. Out of the box, it supports 40 gig, and as a software license that can upgrade this to 80 gig, which equates to 160 gig with 2022-7. As you can see here, I'm running around about 25 gig per lane. And if we look at the device, we can see that it is connected to all the flows I have here on the Leader booth at NAB 2022. And should I want to investigate those a bit further, I can very simply and easily click on them and up comes the picture. But having them as individual flows might not work for most productions or master control rooms. So with the naming convention, we can group them together so that all of the individual essences become a service. And here you can see on our booth we have 5 different services. So let's take a bit of a deeper look into the individual services. So to start with, as soon as you select one, you get a lovely web browser view including audio, and you get details of the resolution of the image, its frame rate, its color imagery, and its transfer characteristic, whether it's standard dynamic range or high dynamic range. You also get details of the audio and ancillary data. The service I'm looking at here is a 2022-7, and it's indicated clearly here that we're looking at the primary. But if I want to look at the secondary, I can simply select it that way. You'll also notice that I've got time code visible here and captions. So it's like using an SDI tool. So let's dive in a bit deeper and see what analytics this can offer us. If we want to look into more detail into the individual essences of the service, we go to network and then we can explode each of the essences individually. And here we have a graph that's showing the packet arrivals. So if there were any drop packets, they would clearly be identified in red. The chart below is the packet interval arrival time. Now this is the PIT histogram chart that you're all familiar with. So you'll see the arrival of packets. Typically it's in like a bell-shaped curve. That's only instantaneous. Here we've got this chart running in real time. So where you see the brighter areas of the trace is where more of the packets are arriving. So this gives you what's known as a network signature. And your engineers will become very familiar with this, with the different services you offer, whether it's audio, video, ancillary data, and if there are issues that are starting to build up on the network due to traffic, shaping and such like. It's a fantastic tool and it's essential, and it will make your life so much easier. If, however, you do need to do more detailed analytics, the LVB440 features a packet capture capability. And firstly, we can get this to select the individual essences we want to capture, and then we can specify either the time limit, video frame limit, or packet limit, depending on our particular requirements. And a great feature on the LVB440 is a rolling packet capture. So on error, I can capture information before the error, see the error, and then post the error. And this allows me to then deep dive and very quickly identify the issue that the LVB440 has highlighted. Once you've selected what you want, you simply hit PCAP and it will capture the data to the device. And then it's very simple and easy to download that onto the local machine that you're running and take it away and analyze it in a tool like Wireshark. SMPTE 2110-20 covers the transport of active video only. So this means, unlike SDI, where we started at 0.00, we've got offsets. And SMPTE 2110-21 details the parameters that we work to. And all of these are highlighted here on the LVB440's network timing display. Path delay, RTP alignment offset, RTP frequency offset, RTP packet time, RTP margin. And you can look at those as a complete program or monitor them as individual services. Again, a fantastic tool, and this can be split to show either 30 seconds or 5 minutes, depending on what you need to analyze. The device also features graphics for VRX, and this includes an underflow and overflow. So if you're sending too much data and your buffer becomes full and drops packets, or underflow if you're starving the buffer by not sending it enough data. The graph clearly demonstrates this. And then finally, we have the C measurement, network burstiness. This is how the packets are being placed on the network, and you get a clear and simple, easy to understand graph showing what's going on. As I mentioned, the services I'm running here are running 2022-7, so they're two separate paths from the sender to the receiver. And here we're showing both of those paths, and this really great simple graphic demonstrates the percentage that are arriving on the primary or the secondary. So in this particular case, it's a pretty good balance, 52-48, and here we see the network signature. So this is the PIT histogram, but it's been rotated through 90 degrees and commonly called the waterfall display. So you see the spread of the packets, you see the peak, and again, it allows you to analyze very quickly what's going on. I mentioned your engineers will get familiar with this as the network signature. If I now change this from video to audio, see how it's got a completely different look and feel. And the same again here, if I now switch this to ancillary data. Your engineers will become intimately familiar with these, and it will allow them to very quickly and easily identify where there is a network traffic issue. Along with all of the IP monitoring tools, we also have the video analysis that you'd expect from a company like Leader with our heritage in test and measurement that goes back nearly 70 years. We have the waveform display, which we can display as luminance, YCBR, we can even display it as RGB. Vector, diamond pattern, CIE color chart, and we can switch the device into different color spaces, 601, 709 and 2020. And we can also enhance that by holding that button down there. Audio. Probably 2110 and the audio component has given us one of the biggest advantages and benefits when it comes to using IP. The -30 or 31 audio, we can now handle multiple streams. In SDI, we used to have to follow the rules. We had 16 channels. House rules are channel 1 and 2, stereo, left and right. Channel 3 through 7, 5.1 surround sound. Now you can put them into individual groups, individual streams, and monitor them. And the Leader, LVB440, offers you a suite of tools to show you the loudness, the gonometer showing you the phase, and if you had speakers connected to the device, you could listen to the audio. So it's a great tool for analysing audio in the -30 and 31 world. As we discussed earlier, 2110-20 has stripped out all of the blanking information that we are used to in SDI video. We're only moving the active video. So that information has to go somewhere, and it's the -40 stream, ancillary data. And here we see the Leader LVB440 analysing and displaying -40 information. Here we've got captions running, and as you can see on the picture, the captions are appearing quite clearly. If you're a station that produces SCTE 104 triggers, we can also record those as well. So as you can see, it's a phenomenal tool both for IP analysis and detailed engineering fault finding. The device also supports UHD resolution support, and here we have a UHD service which happens to also be high dynamic range using the PQ transfer characteristic and Rec 2020 color space. So what we've done is we've added some tone mapping here, because what you're doing is you're now looking at this on a web browser in sRGB color space, not YCBCR or RGB. And we also have, for those of you familiar with the Leader product, the false color display, which shows you monochrome is standard dynamic range, then the color blue through green up to yellow is the HDR component. If you've got any magenta, that means even an HDR display is going to clip and won't be able to reproduce the colors. So this is a fantastic tool. If you've got lots of sources coming in, you can quickly flick through them at the bottom, see the ones that are HDR. Why is that? That's not HDR. Hold on a minute, that's the HD version, it's not the UHD. We can jump back to there. So as you can see, it's one of the most comprehensive tools on the market, and at NAB 2022, we're announcing the support for JPEG XS. So that's SMPTE 2110-22. This is compressed. It's the first compressed algorithm that's part of the SMPTE 2110 family, and the LVB440 supports that. So it's a phenomenal tool, and also it allows you to do complete remote production. And I'm not being rude now, I'm not just going to quickly browse my phone to check what's going on with the ladies' football scores. I can actually bring it up on my phone and use it remotely. This LVB440 that I'm monitoring, I hope you can see this, is based in Oslo. I'm here in Las Vegas. This is a mobile phone. This is a 4G service. So it shows you how powerful this tool is. So not only is it an IP analyzer, this is also a production tool. And we've added to it a feature called Widgets. Widgets are an HTML browser version of the -20 stream. This has no conversion into SDI, it is remaining in the IP world. And this is low latency. It's less than 2 frames of video. And as you can see here, we can configure this so that an existing camera shader, MCR operator can have this display set up and is looking at a low latency feed. So this is now making it ideal for remote production, because this is running over the gigabit Ethernet network. This is not running over your 2110 network. It's low latency, it's less than 2 frames. And you can do flexible things like this, picture and waveform. And with this little graphics bar we've added, you can change your source very quickly. I can put in title bars, I can change the tool from waveform to vector to diamond, and I can play around and adjust the size of the timecode. So this product is the tool that is enabling remote production. This is allowing your working staff to have that work-life balance by allowing them to come into the production centre and not spend 90% of their time travelling to and from venues. It gives you all the tools that they were familiar with in the SDI world when they're sitting in a truck, and it's now available remotely. And it's also an unrivaled IP analyzer. Not only does it tell you there's a problem, it tells you what the problem is, and it tells you how and where you need to look to rectify it. So if you want any more information, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you'd like a more in-depth demo, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you once again. It's Kevin Salvage signing out from NAB 2022.